So recently, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of the young Filly allegations. He was recently accused and charged with or grape, or however you would like to put it for YouTube's sake. And like I said, Filly is facing some very serious charges, and the details of said charges and the allegations are absolutely disgusting, like impeding someone's right to be able to breathe, for example. But due to said accusations, young Filly was arrested and he was charged before later being released on bail. Now, the terms of his bail are pretty serious as well. He can't respond to any of these allegations publicly, he can't contact this alleged victim as well, and he's got to stay in Australia until December. But one of the main things of his bail is the fact he's got to check in with the police on a pretty regular basis, and he's already started doing that, and we've got some footage of him actually, trying to avoid the press whilst doing so.
Trying to avoid it.
Young Filly, do you have a message to your fans? Now's your opportunity
What are they
to
going
say
to think of
something.
this?
The UK rapper required to check in at Northbridge Police Station every day as part of strict bail conditions.
Young Filly, do you have anything to say about these charges?
Young Filly, what really happened in that hotel room?
What are they going to think of this?
And of course, in that clip, as you've seen, he hasn't said anything, he hasn't even gestured anything, he hasn't changed a facial expression, nothing like that. He just doesn't want to risk breaking his bail conditions. What I find interesting about these bail conditions is, he's not allowed to talk out about this, give a response to his audience or fans or anything like that. And that must be really hard for Filly because, of course, not only would you want to give your side of the story in a position like this, where the news are talking about you, content creators are talking about you, but Filly, if you ever watched a video he's in, or one of his videos, is a very, very talkative person. But I wouldn't be making this video if the only thing that had happened was Filly checking in with the police. We already knew that. But this situation, especially online, has escalated pretty quickly. So people are claiming that they have found the person that has accused young Filly of these crimes, and they're exposing her name publicly and her face. And the people that are doing this are alluding to the fact that, this girl is lying about Filly, these are false accusations, and that apparently she's even done this in the past.
So this guy's friend told him that this girl tried to do this to Bryson Tiller when he came to Perth as well, and they didn't follow through because there wasn't enough evidence. I was like, what? So Filly been set up? Yeah, bro. I was like, damn, we gotta free him up, bro.
Now, alongside that video and a few other things, her name and face are being spread around the internet. I think it goes without saying, but I'm not going to be showing either of them, her face or her name respectively. She didn't come about these allegations publicly online like YouTube or Twitter or do anything like that. She went straight to the police with these very serious accusations like you're meant to, and handled it in a very serious and mature manner. She kept that private before the media then picked up on it and it started flooding in the news and on social media. I just think it unnecessarily escalates a situation when you start spreading stuff like this around. But as you saw in that clip that I played, there are rumors going around that this person has falsely accused other people in the past, but so far there's just really no proof to back that claim up whatsoever. Like, the quote-unquote proof that was in that video was the fact that the guy he was messaging was apparently from Perth. Like, not only do we not know that, but that's just really bad and doesn't hold up anyway. My issue with this as well is, if this does have any validity in any way, shape or form, the people pushing this have already ruined it and muddied the waters completely by making tweets like this. Like, it kind of more shows that you've got a narrative that you want to push and that you want to shape stuff to, rather than giving an actual genuine thing of what's going on in the situation. But a 9-minute video was also uploaded which tries to say that young Filly is being falsely accused.
So before I go further into this video, I'd just like to take this time to apologise to young Filly, to apologise to any of his friends, his family, anyone associated with him. And I would also like to apologise to any rappers in the UK who has seen this and has been affected and now feel some type of way about us females in Australia.
I don't know realistically if that's the big picture of this whole situation, and I think this video and others like it have actually damaged this situation and negatively impacted it far more than they've actually done good.
Mysterious female. This mysterious female is Miss, the one and only stripper and twerker. Round of applause for Miss Emma Burns. Yes, Sharmuta.
Now here this content creator tries to, expose this girl's name who accused young Filly of these crimes. But like I said earlier, when this only causes more issues when people do stuff like this has indeed caused more issues because the possibility that they've got the wrong name has also come up, with people even witch hunting the wrong person with the same name. So these people were spreading around the wrong name, which led to people that had no association or affiliation with the situation, getting attacked. And then the supposed quote-unquote real name came out and the same thing's been going on, with very just weak evidence to back up that this person has, you know, falsely accused another person in the past and is doing the same to young Fillys. Just like there needs to be some serious evidence for allegations like young Fillys been receiving, there also needs to be some serious evidence to prove that this person has falsely accused young Filly and another person, and what's going on isn't actually what's happened. It works both ways in that regard, and that's all that's really come out about that so far, and I'm hoping the truth comes out about that soon, so the waters are just way less muddy. But whilst all this has been going on as well, young Filly has been constantly dropped from different shows and different brands. Take a look at this Dylan Page video where he's done a full rundown on, you know, what he's been dropped from.
PieFace cancelled a new show that was going to have Fillly cooking alongside big Premier League players like Saka. His brand deals with ASOS have been deleted. His source with Hienz has been pulled. His clothing line with Perplex has been taken down. But Sidemen announced they are suspending our contract with young Fillly with immediate effect. His dating show with Gymshark, Hit Off, is being unlisted. The first live show for the Chunkz and Fillly podcast is being cancelled. With the producers, Upload Productions, saying they are pausing any work with young Fillly. There are even freaking articles being written about advice for brands after young Filly's arrest.
And although I live in the UK, I didn't even realise how much influence young Fillly had. I didn't know how big young Fillly was really. I knew of him, I'd seen his content about, I'd watched his content before and seen him in other videos, but I didn't realise how mainstream he'd got as well. But it's not only brands who have said things. Online as well, online content creators have also said things about Fillly, including his close friends, like Danny Aaron's, AngryGinge, PieFace, and of course Chunkz. One thing you'll notice about a lot of these responses is, you know, they're not allowed to say much due to it being an ongoing court case. That's exactly what happened with Chunkz.
Yes, my peoples, like everyone, I've heard the reports coming out of Australia. Whilst I understand many of you want my reaction on it, as this is an ongoing court case, I hope you guys can understand that I can't and won't be commenting on it publicly. So yeah, I've just come on here to basically let you know the reasons as to why I can't. Love.
You know, I respect that even though Chunkz isn't really allowed to say anything, he's still made an effort to come online to just state why he can't say said things, you know, keep that trust with his audience, where his audience and other people online, other content creators, and even people that have worked with Fillly are probably feeling like that trust has been let down. Danny Aaron's had a similar response to Chunkz as well, and one of the more very sincere responses, and you know, could actually tell has been really affected by this, was AngryGinge.
I'm going to be open and honest, as I always am. Where'd you start? 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm laying in bed, right? See what's going on Twitter. First of all, I'm the exact same as yous. I'm shocked.
And he does continue to talk briefly about the situation for another minute, and he's clearly just lost for words and speechless. His response to this was very mature, it was very unbiased, and yeah, it was just an overall very good response to everything. But my god, you've got that, and then you got the complete opposite of that, which was PieFace's initial response. PieFace's initial response was just very baffling to me. You're going to see why. This was what PieFace had to say when he initially saw what was going down on Twitter about young Fillly.
Is Fillly alright? He's what? No, that's not no, don't believe everything you read. That won't be true. Right, don't talk about that in here then, because that won't, Yeah, Nitro, do you know what's crazier, mate? Being so bothered to keep... No, let me unban him a second. Nitro, what's crazy, mate, is making constant burner accounts because you've got nothing better to do with your sad sack life. Fortunately, unlike most people, mate, I'm not one to throw someone I know straight under the bus without knowing information, actually, so, because I'm not a massive... Yeah, well, you're not friends, mate, you know? I'll tell you what I will check, mate. I've got some news where it says, you're a massive... That's what it says. Now, you
I don't know, it just feels like a bit of an irresponsible way of responding, being really hostile to people just asking questions about the situation and immediately going on the defensive for Fillly. And PieFace just doesn't stop there, he keeps just digging himself into this hole.
Apparently, and I'll say it to you in the most polite possible way, right? Again, I'm going to be polite with you here, okay? Again, if I wanted to be a I would do what most people would do and go, oh, I'm never speaking to him again, this is disgusting. But unfortunately, because I'm a man and I'm strong enough to mentally to make a decision on my own, I'll say what I've said before. I'm not going to throw someone who's a friend under the bus just by reading one part to it. That's how it goes. There you go. What happened? Nothing. We're not talking about it anymore. I'm fed up of feeding, attention-seeking. Anyway.
It's just a bit of a weird way to go about allegations that are very, very serious against your friend. On the next stream, he did clear up that, you know, he'd just seen this on Twitter and stuff, and that, you know, now he knows more, that he sort of just retracts a lot of the stuff he said. But I just think you should, maybe if you didn't know that much, maybe you should have just shushed and, you know, waited. But that's everything new with the young Philly situation. Like I said in my previous video, I will keep making updates to this situation if anything, you know, actually properly happens. I'm not just going to make a video for the sake of making a video, because I want to deliver the actual important updates and what's actually going on in this situation to keep you up to date.